G'day guys, welcome to Simple Homebrew. I'm Pierre, and I got a different kind of video today. I'm going to actually talk about how I gravity feed a transfer under pressure. So today, I've got these two pipes. These are my transfer pipes I use for transferring beer. Both are fully sanitized. I'm using a CO2 bottle to keep them under pressure, and I've purged everything. So basically, purged the oxygen out of the actual CO2, out of the transfer cable transfer pipes. The first thing I'm going to do is I want to keep the gas in these pipes. Now this end's blocked already, so there's just gas in here. I want to pop the first side off, which will keep the gas inside this beautiful little item. And when I did that, it actually released the gas out of this end. So now I have to pull this end off, which is a little joiner. This little guy works a treat. I got it from King, and does the job for me perfectly. Now it's purged the gas out of the other pipe, and of course go through the same thing again. That's it there, and that's the joiner that was on my CO2 canister. Now both these pipes have gas in them, and there's no oxygen in them. In the meantime, when I set up my keg, I actually gassed up my keg. I sanitized it, gassed it, made sure it doesn't leak, put sanitizer through it, checked the leaking, made it about 10 psi. When I did that, I added 6 teaspoons of vanilla essence. This is imitation vanilla essence. I didn't have any real stuff. The actual bottle I have, this one here, is empty, so I couldn't use it. So I'm using fake stuff. Just want to see what it tastes like. If it tastes great, I'll do it again. The reason why I'm using essence and not real vanilla is because this is simple home brew. We're trying to make our brews as simple as possible, and that's what I'm doing. Now we shall connect the first line to the keg. Now the biggest problem I've got is my fermenter is under about 18 psi at the moment, and my keg is 10 psi. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. Basically, I want to connect the one pipe first. Now I'm going to connect the flow through pipe, the one that helps the... Now I'm spraying sanitizer. If you don't know, this is sanitizer in a bottle. I'm going to connect the flow through pipe. This is the beer side. I have now sanitized each end, and I'm going to actually spray some sanitizer on my keg connections. And on these keg connections, I'm actually going to connect one side to the outlet pipe of the keg, the beer side of the keg. That way the fluid will come to the bottom of the keg as I'm transferring. So I first put that on the keg. That is connected, and I need to place this one, the other end of the beer side, to my fermenter. Now connecting it to the beer side, which is just here. This is my gas side where my pressure gauge is, or my spundy. I can remove that now, that doesn't matter. All I need to do now is connect this here, and you'll see fluid flow from this side through the pipe into the keg, because the keg has less pressure in it. Just like that. So what I'm going to do is let it flow until it equalizes in both keg and fermenter. It might take a few minutes, but once I can stop hearing, I'm sure you can hear that. Once that stops making a noise, I know that they're both equalized. Like I said, these are both under different pressures, and I'm just trying to make it work as the same pressure right through. As soon as I do that though, this will pressurize to probably around about the 15 psi by the time everything settles. I'm going to need to connect the gas flow pipe afterward. I can do that now on this end. Now the reason why we sanitize everything is there is a chance of bacteria being on everything you do, and it's going to get susceptible to bacteria buildup. So I throw that on this end, and it should just be a gas side, and all I'll get is a gas I just realised these are beer ends. So I've got the beer side, which are the white or grey ends. These guys will go on now. I'll sanitise these as well, pop them on, clean the ends off. Just to give them a quick sanitise, make sure they're clean. Now we're sanitised because everything has the ability to create a bacterial build-up in your beers and just destroy your beers if you're not careful. So always sanitise. Quickly sanitise this, it's been sitting a bit. Now as you can see, the pipe has equalised, so the air's stopped moving, or the fluid stopped moving. All I need to do now is place this on this to allow the flow to change, and this will move. And hopefully the force of this moving downward will suck fluid in and allow it to start flowing. Just like that. So what we've done is we've equalised the pressure. Once the pressure is fully equalised, we have to make sure there is fluid in this pipe to pull fluid out of the actual fermenter so that it will keep flowing, because gravity pulls this down, which in turn sucks the fluid up the pipe and keeps doing it. And this is just a return line for the gas that's already in the keg. So now we're flowing big time. This will take a little bit of time to do. This is actually transferring using gravity only, not using gas. And it's still under 10 psi of gas pressure. Once it's done, I'll come back to you. Okay, as you can see, the pipe is splattering a little bit. It's getting a bit of sediment popping up the pipe a bit. I did a 21 litre batch. There should be just enough left. This should just about be finished now. It should just start... We don't want it to recycle. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted here. This is about to splatter through. This is just about full. Oh! And I'm ready to stop the transfer. That's it, I'm finished. This was bubbling a little bit. It was starting to splatter back through. This gave me 19.5 litres of stout, and I'm really, really happy. In a minute, I'm going to try the stout and see what it tastes like with vanilla in it. Cheers. Alright, so I'm going to grab a sample. It's going to be a quick sample. It is under a bit of pressure, so it's going to foam up a little. Oh no, she's fine. Here we go. I don't want to take too much. We just want to take a little bit. Now I'm going to clean this out, so that's going to go over here. Drop some on my foot, and that can go over here. So this is it. It smells newly fermented, so give it a bit of time. Now the gravity, according to the pill, came down to 1020, and I'm pretty sure it's actually lower than that, and I'm about to find out. If it's very sweet, then I know it hasn't come down far enough. But this is it. That's our dark, pretty much chocolatey. It smells good. It doesn't smell too bad. And I mean, I fermented this at a high temperature for a little bit, and it dropped down to about 18 and sat there for about 3 days or 4 days. And then I upped it to 21 degrees Celsius, these are Celsiuses, and let it sit for about 4 days at 21 because it slowed down the fermentation, just to make sure it was fully fermented. And then I cold crashed it, and it went down to about 14 degrees before I transferred it. And it, you know, it's a stout. It's going to have a bit of oomph to it. All right, ready? All right, it smells good. I'm going to taste it. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's compared to my... It's sweet, so it definitely fermented down to 1020. It's tasty. It's got a small amount of bitterness, not much. Malt flavour. This is drinkable now. With that, putting that vanilla in has just boosted this so much in flavour. And it's soft and smooth on the mouth. It's really good. Give it a couple of weeks. That will be phenomenal. It's a very, very nice stout, guys. I'm happy. This is the one I've been looking for. This is what I've been looking for in a stout. It's soft on the mouth. It's slightly bitter, not overly bitter. Just perfect for a stout. Chocolatey. Wow. This is new. This isn't even aged yet, and it's new. I'm shocked. Guys, give it a go. This recipe is good. I always find Morgan's beers salty. They have a little bit more salt than most. I do Cooper's. Cooper's nowhere near as much salt. No, I'm very sensitive to salt, as my family have said. I'm going to pour myself another one because this is just so tasty. Wow. I'm just so happy. It was really good. I used corn syrup for the sugar addition. I used dark malt extract, and I used light dry malt extract. Guys, thank you very much for watching Simple Homebrew. It's been a pleasure. I am really happy with this. I want to thank my patrons for looking after Simple Homebrew, which is a godsend to Simple Homebrew, to us, to me, to us. I'm the only one doing this, so why am I saying us? Thank you for watching the whole video right through. Cheers, guys. We'll see you in the next one.